Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Carnivore and Keto and getting better and just learning about yourself. N equals 1. That's your own journey. That's what that means. And you learn what works, what doesn't work, and always be looking for improvements because it just happens that way. We all figure out things like some people that realize I've been eating chicken all this time and I don't really like it. Or, hey, that deer that somebody gave us a roast for, from venison, that's not bad. I cooked it in the crock pot. Or different things that we just learn. Or maybe that diet soda isn't serving me well anymore. And I might want to taper it down or just with the Band-Aid, just rip it right off and stop it. Or, hey, I'm a few days into this World Carnivore Month, and you know what? I'm sleeping better. You know what? It doesn't feel bad. You know what? I think my energy is a little bit higher. All of it is so good. And with all the benefits that we get from carnivore and keto, sometimes it's hard a few years in to pinpoint what exactly was that moment when that felt as good as it did, or giving up that made a difference. I know a lot of us have felt that with all the things that we've tweaked or given up or included, and it just kind of works that way. Maybe some of us had severe inflammation, and by changing up our food plan, it was gone. Maybe some of us have been on medication, and we've slowly been told by the doctor that you can eliminate that. We don't need this anymore. We're going to cut down on this and taper, and then with the next blood work, we'll see, where we land with that. Amazing things can and have happened for all of us. And for some of you, like a lot of us, we got here because we wanted to lose some pounds. And it was just, we were getting to that place where it's like, flabby tabby, and I don't want to be an old lady and, have the rolls and have the rolls, pass the rolls, please, the rolls on my body and stuff like that. And, every now and then I do a little body check, and, there's some of that side stuff before the love handles leading down. And sure, I'd love to not have those things, but they're there. And I sit there and say, I'm almost 70, and I forgive myself. I know a lot of it is loose skin from being bigger and losing weight. And sometimes the skin does shrink. I have noticed a little bit here. Not that I'll ever be seen with my arms showing. Never. But it does kind of feel like it's tightened up. If I do this and I do this and I look in the mirror, how vain can you get? I say, wow, those almost pass for normal arms. But then when I do this, it's like, look out, you could get hurt with those flaps. I remember I remember being in the 8th grade the day JFK was assassinated, and it was a history class, and our teacher, we called her Spitfire Henderson because you didn't want to get too close to her because she spit. And, she had those, and I said, oh, I'll never have those when I get old. Yeah, God laughed at that, didn't he? It's the first thing I'm going to give her. Flabby arms. Anyway, I digress. So here we are, and we're tweaking our stuff. And, it's just so amazing that after you've been here for a while, you realize that you've been healing yourself with your food choices. Isn't that amazing? When you think of, like, when you go into the drugstore and you just look at the, it's so funny because it's either like a candy aisle or a chronic American type of disease, sickness aisle. It's like you're either having all that candy and junk, or, you're looking for Pepto-Bismol or stuff for your headache or stuff for, the pains, or buying all those creams, the Gold Bond to get rid of the bumps on your arms. Have you seen those ads on TV? It's just an amazing world we live in, and how baffling can it be? And I hope that all of you there, I kind of cater to us older folk because we've already been there, done that. It's like the beauty of being a veteran of the diet wars or the food wars or the mess that we had decades of. The beauty of hitting here and finding out that we can feel better and get some energy back that we haven't had, like from, even at age 40. We were just exhausted by age 40. And it's like, what was your food plan? Mine was like sugar and white flour. Well, what things could I have that had those, Pasta for dinner followed by ice cream. Isn't that, doesn't that make sense? Pure comfort foods at that point on, working stressful jobs and all of it. And so it's just great now. Um, I stopped weighing and measuring my meat portions, but I still weigh the ingredients in my cuppa because I could get real. Yeah, I could have 4 tablespoons of ghee and go, that tastes good. But so I have to measure. I have to be careful because I'm still a food addict, and so I do that, but I don't measure my protein portions anymore. I just have them and I eat to satiety, and then I get that flash of contentment, and then I can leave the table and be okay. And I know that, from 0 to 20 minutes it's going to take, and then I'm going to feel like comfortable. I'm going to feel like I feel when I take my car to the gas pump and I fill it. What do you mean cars don't have feelings? I thought my car had feelings. I think my car thanks me when I take it for a car wash or I vacuum it. It doesn't? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have given up those meds. Those meds were keeping me thinking cars don't have feelings. Well, anyway, so, that's how I feel. I feel fueled. It's like, that's it. I had my meal. It's just like everything else. I had a shower. I washed my hair. I blew dry my hair. I went to the bank. It's just like I ate. It was delicious. Every bite, all of it, the fat, the meat, mostly beef. Although this week I did make a pork roast that I got from Whole Foods with all of the know this and know that and know this and know that. I put it in the crock pot. It's got some brown crusties on it, some nice fat drippings that I'll kind of like think of as like a gravy that I'll be having. And so I'm excited about being a carnivore. I'm excited about World Carnivore Month and all the contributions that people are making to practicing the carnivore way of eating. It's great. And so I'm glad I'm here. And last year I was kind of hesitant, and of course Mike was the leader of it all with his Mobo Wobo Bobo. And he was very encouraging. He did lots of videos. He asked me if I'd do one. And, I wasn't at the carnivore place yet. I certainly eased into it. And then it became my norm. It's my norm now. I never thought I could give up almond flour. I never thought I could give up the veg. And now I make pizza with no almond flour. And now I'm not having any veggies at all. And it all works out. And I'm okay. But it wasn't overnight for me. It took a while to get to these places. I hear a lot of you saying that you still have, those crutches of certain foods or sweeteners that you still hold on to. And I will tell you that since I gave up all sweeteners and all sweetened items, which was only my coffee, that I don't have cravings. I'm not triggered by, the visuals that, we've had months of, right? It's amazing. I look at that stuff and it's not food. And no matter where you go, like when I'm doing an overnight and they get to the news part that like starts at 7 in the morning, the, national news, and they have all these sugary, carby things that, they're having on weekends because it's a little more relaxed around those corporate studios is just like, oh, God. You know, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Not to mention like the big box stores where there's a person at every aisle. Hey, would you like one of these? This is a nice little roll. And it was funny. I was in BJ's, which is a box store, and you know they have huge freezer sections, and so this entire freezer section was nothing but appetizers, all like just edible only foods. There was no nutrition in any of those things. And I was like, you know, from frozen pizza on. And I was just so amazed. It's like all of this has no nutrition and it's considered an appetizer. And that's before you get to the meal. And one of our carnivore community people sent me a picture of an appetizer table at a house that she went to for, gosh, I don't know. I think it was just a regular dinner on the way to Christmas. And, you know, the appetizer table, you know, all the crackers and the cheeses and the little perfect little, you know, the butter knives and just all the little bowls of things that, like, I know I was a Hoover, but I can't say Hoover anymore, right, Mike? So I have to say I was a Dyson. You know, I would just eat all that stuff, and that's before like the meal with the salad and the veggies and, you know, foods and rolls and maybe even fake butter, and then that's on the way to the dessert tray, you know, or buffet or whatever that you have with your coffee. Those I'm astounded because it's so funny. I had a huge T-bone yesterday. I went to the butcher, and I go on Sundays for the steaks because that's the day we do the big green egg, which is the grill that we use. You can Google it and see what it looks like. They have them at True Value, and so the steak, I told him I wanted it thick, and it was 4 pounds, and it's like it's got this huge like tenderloin in it, so it's really more like a porterhouse. And of course, I never even got to that other side. So I got some good eating. I just ate the, you know, the tenderloin part and then not on the bone like a dog. Dog's got nothing over me. Get away, get away. This is my bone. And it was delicious. And so when I think of like, what if there was 2,000 calories in that piece of beef? I don't know if there was. I don't know because I don't weigh and measure. But and I even put some butter on it. And I'm thinking about what I used to eat at one of those standard American diet holiday dinner things. And I'm still astounded at like all those empty, non-nutritive food items that people would have, you know. It's like, it's just amazing to me how far most of us, all of us, have come as we go from like our standard American to maybe low carb, high fat, to maybe keto under 20, to maybe keto closer to 0, and then taking that leap to the carnivore and seeing how it works. So for those of you that are in a carnivore month because you've committed to it and before then you were still doing keto, congratulations. I'm so glad you're here. And I'd love to hear how you're doing with all of this. How does this feel a couple of weeks in? You know, are you exactly halfway in? How do you feel? How is it making you feel? You know, what grade would you give carnivore and how you've responded, reacted, adapted to it if you were grading yourself? I'd love to hear because that's what we do here. We learn from others and try it ourselves and maybe adapt to that way too. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with carnivore and keto and a whole new lifestyle. I'm so glad you're here. This community is the bomb. I love it. Thank you. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.